What are you doing, Dave?
Just putting up an advert for a freestyle footballer for that World Cup video we want to do.
Why?
Well, because we need someone who can do keepy-uppies for the video.
I'll do it.
You'll do it?
Yeah, I was really good at football when I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, I'll meet you downstairs in 5 minutes.
Post the advert.
You remember things as being a little bit better than they were simply because when you're a child creating those memories, the whole world is a little bit better.
Wow, conkers! Oh gee whiz, a Space Jam colouring book. Oh my goodness, a novelty straw in my cereal. I mean, it's the adult's fault really, isn't it? For not tempering this young enthusiasm with the hammer of cynical experience. If we were honest with children from the start...
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. But let's be honest, this is rubbish, isn't it?
Then we could stamp out that warped sense of optimistic self-worth some of them grow up with and make a lovely generation of healthy pessimists instead.
Pessimists! What? All the amazing remakes coming out on PS4 have turned everyone into bright-eyed optimists again. For God's sake, video games!
Stop pandering to us, games. Stop vindicating our love for the things we liked as children. Stop making me think I was actually good at football when I was at school.
I remember when you scored an own goal from the halfway line and got dropped from the team.
Oh, here are 7 beautiful remakes that make your childhood seem way better than they actually were. Still score from the halfway line though, didn't I?
First on our list is a game that at the time of writing isn't even out yet, but that when I played it at E3, instantly convinced me my 90s memory vaults were in perfect working order. Spyro Reignited Trilogy is a thing of beauty, perfectly capturing the charm, warmth and playful otherworldliness of Insomniac's treasured PS1 originals. Developer Toys for Bob, who have experience of Spyro through Skylanders, have recreated this world inch by inch. You'll slip back into the gliding, charging, flame-spewing, dragon-freeing fun like you'd put down your original DualShock only yesterday. Muscle memory instantly takes over and guides you through levels, the layout of which you'll be happily surprised to find still etched on the stone walls of your subconscious.
Supercharging around treetops and finding all those hard-to-reach gems. Oh, it's just heavenly.
But naturally, they've made it even better than you remember. Artistic flourishes fill every level here in the Artisan's world. Paintings adorn this pillar that previously didn't exist, while all the dragons have their own unique character rather than being different colour variants of the same 4 models.
Basically, it's what you all wanted. The first 3 Spyro games, exactly as they were, just even more beautiful.
I mean, they've even made me not hate this flying level, and I really hate flying levels, simply by distracting me with really nice water. Oh look, and I've gone and done it on my 14th attempt. Entry 2 is Tomb Raider Anniversary, a 2007 PS2 release that reimagined Lara's original 1996 outing with a new engine, new moves, and lovely new graphics.
This'll make you feel old. More time has now passed between Anniversary and now than between the original Tomb Raider and Anniversary. Tomb Raider Anniversary, anyone?
This game elevated my childhood memories in 2 ways. Firstly, it just looks way better, obviously. I mean, look at the T-Rex here and then here, that's amazing. But most importantly, the control system in Anniversary was slightly more forgiving than its inspiration, to the point where I could actually play it this time.
I sucked at Tomb Raider games on PS1, wasn't smart enough to do the puzzles, wasn't dexterous enough to do all the jumping bits.
In Anniversary, 3, I actually felt like I was doing it, like in control of a badass acrobatic archaeologist, as opposed to leaping against walls and into spike pits for 5 hours before my dad eventually lost his patience and traded the game in on my behalf.
Oh, it's alright, son. I've got you this game called Metal Gear Solid instead.
Sounds rubbish.
Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is our third entry, and what a collection this is. 3 amazing games that look and play better than ever, and oh my god, was I really this bad at video games, or did I just mute 10-year-old me on memory Twitter?
It's kind of refreshing though, isn't it, that Crash is still hard, because you don't really have to think about these kinds of things in video games anymore.
Lives. You have lives that you can and will run out of, even if you have 99 of them. Thank you, High Road. There are actual checkpoints you need to hit, as opposed to the games of today that follow your progression with a safety mat that's never more than 30 seconds behind you. Insane Trilogy is a wonderful slice of old school gaming, dressed in modern threads. It's one of those games you have to learn to be good at, that you have to play over and over until you stop sucking, that takes you back to your childhood self, who then says to you, "Hey, I was right. These games are the best. Also, I wish you hadn't shown me how bald I'm going to be in 20 years. That's really upsetting." Number 4 is me cheating a little bit, because when the original Modern Warfare came out, I wasn't a child, I just acted like one. And also Modern Warfare on PS4 is not technically a full-on from the ground up remake. It's a really thorough remaster, with developer Raven Software using the source code from the original to remake and revitalise pretty much everything, from the visuals to the animations to the inside of the sniper scope when you aim down the sights.
It's an incredible game, instantly reminding you why the original Modern Warfare is rated so highly.
Good design does not age, and this has everything. Tight gunplay, memorable missions and locations, shocking story twists, the best moustache in video game history, now even bushier on PS4. That mission, all gillied up, in my humble opinion, one of the greatest single levels in any game ever.
That moment where you're prone in the long grass as the enemy walks past inches from your face.
It doesn't get any more tense than that, unless you're up playing multiplayer at 4 AM and your mum cottons on.
Oh, what was that noise? Must have been my imagination.
The upcoming Resident Evil 2 PS4 remake is next, another game we managed to get our hands on at E3, and that instantly reminded us why the original is the absolute best survival horror game ever made. Don't at me. The brilliant thing about this remake is that it tweaks the control scheme to give the game a more contemporary feel. You now play over the shoulder like in Resi 4, and yet it somehow retains the feel of the PS1 classic. There's a wonderful absoluteness to how dark the game is, forcing you to inch forward with your torch, replicating that swooping dread of the unknown the fixed camera angles of the original gave you back in the day. You can only save the game at typewriters, adding a layer of desperate horror to every ill-advised foray off the beaten track. Ammo is scarce, meaning conservation of bullets and effective inventory management are your best hope of making it through the game alive. And when the zombies do come along, they're the slow, shambling type. Easy enough to gun down, but you have to be precise about it, which means allowing them to inch forward to just beyond arm's reach, just to make absolutely certain of that headshot.
The game is always perfectly on edge, and that is no accident.
You always seem to have just one clip of ammo left, one herb. You'll manage to gun down that zombie just before he eats your face. The terror you feel is always ever so slightly outweighed by your desire to know what's behind the next door.
I watched my friend play Resi 2 when it first came out because I wasn't allowed my own copy and I couldn't stand how scary it was. But oh my god, we've just found the key to that door. I have to know what's behind it.
More zombies, probably. Oh man, I still haven't got over the fact this is happening. It's so good. Unlike the aiming there. That's Nave playing. Up next, it's Ratchet Clank on PS4, a reimagining of the iconic duo's very first outing on PS2, and flipping it looks, I'm going to say it, It looks like a Pixar movie. Just look at all the things happening on the screen here. Even 2 years on, I don't think there are many games on PS4 that look this good. It's just supremely polished. You can pretty much see your face in those graphics.
Ratchet Clank on PS4 could basically just be called Childhood Remastered. It's that potent.
I mean, these two are PlayStation royalty, and I bet there are loads of people watching this video for whom Ratchet & Clank on PS2 was their first ever PlayStation game. Let's see you in the comments. People who grew up collecting bolts and upgrading weapons and laughing at the hilarious dialogue. This is your childhood, looking and playing better than ever. Our last entry, Shadow of the Colossus, is, for me, the single greatest remake ever made. The scale of it, the ambition and effort required to fully reimagine every single polygon of this incredible world is just off the scale. The original Shadow of the Colossus is a game many of us have nestled safely inside our all-time top 10. It was a blazing original. It was grand, beautiful, haunting and shocking. And what Bluepoint have done with the PS4 version is take all of that and dial it up to 11. When I saw my first Colossus on PS4, I got that same chill, and it's a chill no other game has given me, as I did over a decade ago. That chill jolted my brain back to 2006 in such a way that it was like the room dissolved and I was back in my university dorm room. You know, I could smell the newly laid carpet.
It was a horrible carpet.
I could taste the pot noodle.
I hated pot noodle.
I could hear the raucous din of the other people on my corridor, shouting and drinking and for some reason not in their rooms playing Shadow of the Colossus on their PS2s. I mean, thank God for this game, because it was all that kept me sane. I'd just left home, I was an introverted, friendless mess, I wanted to quit everything, but climbing up giant sentient bits of landscape and stabbing them in the head until they fell over sort of kept me going.
And now I can do all of that on PS4 without having to worry about Gaz from room 42 bursting in my room to ask me if I wanted to join the lads for £1 tequila shots at the student union.
Tequila shots or this? It's no choice, is it really? And there are 7 beautiful remakes that make our childhoods seem even better than they actually were. Let us know in the comments if you can think of any other examples. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and join us again next week for another Friday feature. Thanks for watching.